Hey guys, and welcome back to A&J Education YouTube channel. In today's video, we're talking about how to submit a competitive application for undergraduate study at Cambridge University in 2022 for 2023 start. So if your dream is to go to Oxbridge or Cambridge specifically, keep watching. All right, guys, so I'm very fortunate to welcome Ollie back into the studio. Ollie, good to see you.
You too.
How's your GDO going?
It's going okay. I'm still there, so must be going all right.
Still there. Well, it's the prayers and thoughts and prayers of all the viewers,
yeah,
subscribers who've
trying times.
Getting you over the line. But look. Can you please explain, the process? So if someone's watching this, they want to apply for undergrad in October 22 for September 23 start. What is the process? What do they need to do for Cambridge?
Yeah, so Cambridge and Oxford slightly different to other universities in terms of application and timeline. So I believe personal statement has to be in, is it around mid-October?
15th of October,
2022.
So yeah.
That's definitely something to think about maybe in the kind of summer of year 12, perhaps before then. I mean, there's not too much point in thinking about it too early because you won't have done enough probably. But yeah, you've got to do that. Then you may well have to sit an entrance exam. So particularly for history, I think for English as well, they're pretty common now, which will generally be quite shortly after submitting the personal statement. If you do well in that, you get an interview. Do your interview, and then you could get offered a place, basically. Cambridge also has a supplementary assessment questionnaire, SAQ.
SAQ, yeah.
Which you also have to do. They say you might do an additional personal statement, but I think that's mainly if the degree you're applying to is not really offered elsewhere. So I didn't do that, for example, but that would also be something to think about.
Cool. So just, let's just put this on the screen in front of you guys. So the formula is you have the UCAS application form.
Yes. Yeah, it's all through UCAS as well. It's not anything new.
Not anything new. So you apply through UCAS, you write a really amazing personal statement. Your school gives you a reference.
Yes.
A set of predicted grades.
Yes.
And then you may have an extra test depending on the subject that you're applying for.
Yeah, so I think most of them have a test now, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, most of them have a test. And the deadline for the test is typically the same as the UCAS deadline, so 15th of October. Test is around 5th of November-ish, give or take. And then for Cambridge, you have this SAQ.
Yes.
On top, which requires you to write an extra essay, list out.
That's a lot of module grades. I mean, you might not have it. It depends if you've been sitting exams. I don't know.
You do have the modules. Some have been asked for GCSEs. Yeah. Then on top of that, some colleges are sort of being really quite tricky and asking the extra form.
Yeah, or also submitting essays and things like that too. But again, I wouldn't choose a college based on that. But yeah. Make sure you're aware.
Yeah. And then you have the interview if you get invited.
Yeah.
Cool. So, it sounds like there is quite a bit of admin and you need to get ahead early.
Yeah, I think even just letting your school know that it's something you're interested in, hopefully, if they have some experience in it, that's great. If not, looking at college websites for access and things like that would also be helpful. Just so they know that you're in the kind of ring, so they can be aware and hopefully remind you about some of these deadlines as well. There really isn't actually that much to remember once it's been broken down like that, but yeah.
Cool, great. And Ollie, how can you, strengthen your application for Cambridge? Specifically, I guess we're talking about the person. Apart from the obvious ones like studying well, how do you get cool stuff for the personal statement to actually make it more attractive?
Yeah, I mean, with something like history, which is what I did, there's really not, you're not going to be working in an archive or something. I mean, if you did, that'd be quite impressive, but I mean, you're not. So your experience will come from reading things and just from thinking. So I don't think you need to do anything particularly magical. And my approach, maybe because I was a bit lazy, but would be less is more in the way. Try and read a few books and have a real think about them and, try and dissect them, give your own opinion effectively, and get those into a few paragraphs, and that would be the way I'd approach it. Especially for Oxford, you don't need to worry too much, I would say, about the extracurriculars, although, of course, your application will go out to every university. So whatever you do, don't say, I want to apply to Cambridge or something like that, because you know it's going to go to everyone.
Yeah. So that's automatic bin, rejection
You're
from every
right.
other.
You'd have to be very confident.
Yeah. Cool. All right. And Ollie, just wrapping all of this up, what would be your top 3 tips to applicants to Cambridge in terms of what people need to do?
Yeah. I'd probably start, honestly, by looking at a few of the colleges and just looking on their websites and see that they'll often have, say, history at X college, Cambridge or Oxford. And typically a student will have written something about what you do there that's really helpful, so you actually understand what it is you're trying to sign up for. And they might give some advice on kind of reading material. So you wouldn't need to read the books they say, but I'll give you an idea of the sort of stuff that would be of a good level. So that'd be 1. Then, 2, I guess less is more again. I just focus on the fundamentals, a few things, maybe isolate a few themes for your personal statement, that is. And really kind of narrow in on them. But it's now going to sound the complete opposite of what I've just said. But when you're narrowing in, you can also think broadly about how they apply to different areas of history that you studied, etc. But try not to, you don't need to read everything. They're not expecting a finished product. And then, I don't know, finally, I think just staying on top of things is really quite tricky. Especially if you're applying whilst you've still got school on, you're going to be doing your A-levels, your IB, whatever, your extracurriculars, and you've got this additional thing. If you're kind of, if you've got your timings done, you're organised, it'll make things a hell of a lot easier. Yeah. And you don't want to kind of burn out before you've even got there or got to an interview stage. So kind of staying on top of things, looking after yourself.
After yourself, yeah. So doing jogging, gym, some sort of form.
Yeah, can try that.
Cool. Well, guys, I'm sure you'll join me in thanking Ollie for Ollie's advice. In the meantime, don't forget that I send out a newsletter every 3 weeks, and if you're not one of the 4,000 students, parents and teachers who already receive my newsletter every 3 weeks, do sign up. The link is below. It's packed with useful tips and advice on university admissions, as well as information on really cool CV building stuff that you can do. If you're applying for history, whatever subject, you're a normal guy from a normal school, without family or contacts, you can do a ton of stuff for free at leading universities, and info's in the newsletter. So do check it out. But for now, Ollie, thank you very much.
No problem.
Thanks for your time, and all the best, guys.